Good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday Mull for Friday, the 7th of June. With McShane, we're working our way through the book of Isaiah, today reading chapter 39. And the backstory is King Hezekiah of Judah had some envoys come from the king of Babylon, and he showed them round the palace. Isaiah then says, what did they see? And he tells him, I showed them everything, all the treasures, all the that I have of value. And in a sense, you can understand it. He has a minor king, in a sense, bragging to a much greater king. Look at all the stuff I've got. I am worth something. And Isaiah then comes with this prophecy to him from verse 5. Then Isaiah said to Hezekiah, hear the word of the Lord Almighty. The time will surely come when everything in your palace and all your predecessors have stored up until this day will be carried off to Babylon. Nothing will be left, says the Lord. And some of your descendants, your own flesh and blood, who will be born to you, will be taken away, and they will become eunuchs in the palace of the king of Babylon. The word of the Lord you have spoken is good, Hezekiah replied, for he thought, there will be peace and security in my lifetime. Now we know as we continue to read that exactly what God said would happen did happen, and everything was taken off to Babylon. There's nothing left. The city was destroyed, and the royal family ended up in exile. But what struck me was Hezekiah's response. The word of the Lord you have spoken is good, because he thought there will be peace and security in my time, which is indeed what there was. He ended up dying peacefully in Jerusalem without any of this having happened. But as I read that, I thought, oh, is that the right approach to have? To say, well, that's okay. It's not going to affect me, so I don't have to worry about it. I'll leave it to my sons and descendants. They can sort it out. And it just struck me as I read that very often that's the approach we have to what's going on in our world. We look at climate change and the effects that are happening, and we see the predictions that by the year 2060, half the glaciers on Greenland will be melting. The sea level will be rising. There's going to be changed weather patterns. And it's very easy to think, 2060, that's a long time away. I'll be 120 by the time we get to 2060, so I don't have to worry about it. Whereas in actual fact, we're then behaving like Hezekiah. And we need to be saying, if there's some disaster impending down the line, surely we must respond in some constructive, helpful way today. Hezekiah, I'm not sure what he could have done if he'd gone to God and if he'd called out to God. He could have received guidance. But certainly, I think today, we can't just say, well, there'll be peace and security in my time, so I don't have to worry. We do need to be concerned, engage, and do what we can. We might not be able to change a huge amount, but we can at least do a little. And if everybody does a little, it adds up to a lot. So as you look at our world, particularly issues around climate change and global warming and those kind of issues, let's not defer it, but recognize even though it is our children and grandchildren that are going to bear the brunt of it, we still need to engage today. So be challenged by that thought and know that we are blessed.